dark secret, Jean Instead.
I used to have a dark secret. A secret I hated keeping. It was uncomfortable, it was unpleasant. I disliked it a lot. Mr. Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters and very welcome guests. The secret keeping started when I was about 30. The ladies of my family started to notice something about me. They all huddled and got together like a little coven, and they worked out which of them were going to speak to me about the secret that needed to be kept. My cousin Mary was chosen. She came up to me and she said, "Jean, listen, you're starting to get grey hair. And your mother is too young to have a daughter with grey hair." And thus began years of dyeing my hair, of putting guck in my hair that smelt horrible, that made my scalp itch, that made me look like somebody other than who I truly was. And I might have caught on and carried on like this forever until I was 90, very pale skin, black hair. Except that one day I was at work. And we were sitting around and we were talking about the fact that we had this really complicated project together. This was hard stuff, and we needed really great people for this project. And I found myself saying these words: what we need around here is a bit of grey hair. And I thought, there's something wrong going on here. Why am I talking about needing grey hair? Because grey hair kind of equates to experience and wisdom and knowledge. I mean, you can see that, right? And here I was denying my experience because I was saying that we needed, obviously, to get somebody other than me because I didn't have grey hair. And in that moment I realised, as I looked around me at all my colleagues, that, obviously, really, the only ones that I was working with that had grey hair were men. Because generally, if you're a man and you start to go grey, you're allowed to be grey. You're not going to have people going to me, "God, you're really grey." Or maybe you do. You can tell me otherwise afterwards. But where I worked, the only grey-haired people were men. And I decided that I'd had enough. That's it. No longer am I going to keep my dark secret. No longer am I going to be Jeannie with the dark, grey, brown hair. I knew I was going to get that wrong. Aha! So I made the switch. I went to my hairdresser, and once she got back up off the floor, we worked out a strategy for how I was going to go grey. It was all very complicated, I'm telling you, because you know what? There's a problem with not dyeing your hair anymore because you get the badger look. Because this is black and this is grey. It looks very weird. So we had all these strategies. We lightened it gradually. We had powder so that I could pretend to be dark-haired, even though gradually I was becoming grey. And then one day I'd had enough of all of the subterfuge, and I said, right, that's it. There's enough grey hair on my head. We are cutting it all off. She got back up off the floor and she started to slip away. And then I was a short-haired, grey-haired woman. Never have short hair, never had grey hair. And I had quite a few reactions, I can tell you. Some people just said, "Wow." Some people offered me seats on the train. One person, who happens to be a woman in my family, said, "Are you sure your husband is okay with it?" And somebody said, "Jean, it makes you look 10 years older." And I thought to myself, well, you know what? If I've been dyeing my hair to make myself look 10 years younger, then if I look 10 years older, then I must just look like me. And lots of people said, "Oh my God, how courageous." It didn't feel courageous, it felt a bit scary, to be honest. But I've been thinking about it since then. And what I realise is that for all of those years, I was wearing, basically, something like a black camouflage thing. Not quite me. Some other person, not me. And this is kind of a joke, and kind of not very serious. I mean, really, grey hair is not a big deal. But actually, this is about some social expectation that we should pretend to be someone that we're not, that we hide something because of our gender, because of our age, because of our sexuality, our race, a disability. And for me, this is about having the courage to stand up and go, no, I'm going to be me. And I guess the question is there something that you want the courage to do? Is there something where you're going, actually, I'm not quite showing
Sorry to
me.
interrupt you, is it what calls the park in front of the fire exit?
I'm not quite showing the person I really am because of some kind of social expectation. Because if you're feeling like that, then maybe there are other people out there who, like you, want to have the courage to show the real you. On Sunday, I had a call with some old friends. It was a Skype call, so we were on video, and it started like many of my calls nowadays. Jean, oh my God, I can't believe what you've done to your hair. That's amazing. Wow, you're so brave. All of those responses, except not quite the ones about you're 10 years older. It wasn't that kind of call. And I sat there and I watched, just in that moment, the video stream playing back of me. And back in the day, I probably wouldn't have looked at me. I would have looked at them. I would have kind of slided away from me. Because it wasn't really me. And on that day, I looked at my picture, and me responding to my friends, and I thought, you know what? I look happy. And I look like me. I look like Jeannie with the light.